beautiful Nahoon Reef, where we are here again for another car review. This is kind of like my favorite place to film car reviews. Last time we were in the Dolphin Surf, which is the all-electric vehicle from BYD. It's a city compact vehicle, very small. Today we're doing something completely different. This isn't just another SUV, it's a glimpse into where cars are heading and why you may be considering getting involved. Today I'm driving the BYD Sea Lion 5. It's electric, smart and hybrid, and one of the most talked about newcomers on the road. One of the reasons why is because it's one of the cheapest hybrid vehicles in the country, with the base level starting under 500,000 Rand. So in the South African context, we've always been very favorable to German-made cars, US-made vehicles, even British vehicles for a long period of time, such as Range Rover and Mini, were considered standard in the South African market. And I remember when South Korean cars first made their entry into this market, how people were very skeptical. And the more the cars stayed in the market and proved themselves with good after-sales service, good parts, good maintenance, and just reliable motoring, the more people got more comfortable with that. I feel like the same thing is happening with the Chinese car industry. Electric vehicles in a South African context still raise some concerns. Range, charging, cost. But the BYD Sea Lion 5 and 6 for that matter, as hybrid EVs, are eliminating a lot of that concern. With a range of nearly 900 kilometers on battery and petrol, and a fuel economy of 1.4 liters per 100 kilometers because of the hybrid. That's changing the game. But this isn't just another SUV, this is a glimpse, as I said, into where cars are going. BYD has gone from being a name that many people didn't know to being one of the biggest players in the electric vehicle game globally, having outsold Tesla in 2025. This car is very different to the Dolphin Surf that I drove, and it's one of the things that I like about BYD is they're kind of going for an entire cross-section of the South African motoring public, providing small compact cars for city dwellers that want to get around quickly and not have hassle finding parking, to the family SUV in the Sea Lion 5 and Sea Lion 6. From there, they go up a range to the Shark, which is the double cab variant. I've been a passenger in that. Haven't driven it yet, but I will do shortly. Let's do a walk around on the exterior of this vehicle, and I'll point out some of the things that I enjoy and some of the things that I think are quite unique to this car. Okay, so the Sea Lion 5 has modern and clean SUV proportions with the LED lighting, as you can see there, and a recognizable rear light signature, which I'll show you in a second. Gives it a kind of a contemporary presence. Its size and stance give it practicality on the road, on par with compact SUVs. When it comes to space, though, this car has plenty. On the front end of the vehicle, you've got the very prominent BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams, badging on the front with a nice, what would you call that? It's not diamond grille, but it certainly has those beautiful little chrome inlays. Your front camera over there. Very decent spoiler. Obviously being a hybrid, it will have the radiator as well. We'll have a look under the bonnet in a second. Your daylight running lights with the LED lights, and then of course you've got those nice headlights, nice bright headlights, which are smart. So if you're driving into oncoming traffic, it'll sense if there's a car in front of you using the sensors located at the top, automatically dim the lights and then bring them back up to bright. Pretty large bonnet. And one of the cool things about that whole unit up there is it is kind of prepped and ready for autonomous driving with the LiDAR, but also it uses that as distance control and lane keeping assistance, as well as collision alert, to help you and keep you as safe as possible. The Sea Lion 5 comes with 18-inch alloy wheels as standard on most variants, and the tire spec on these wheels is 225 by 60 R18s. Good balance of control and stability. Side profile of the vehicle, you've got your stunning rear view mirrors, again the two-tone black and white in this color. with your indicator lights, not just on the front of the car, but also coming up on your rear view mirror. And then of course you've got that blind spot alert, which comes up on either the left or right hand rear view mirror. Detailing on the side of the car, you've got that little chrome inlay, just accentuating the premium status of the vehicle. And of course you've got your keyless entry with touch button control. By the way, a massive thank you to Kelson Motors, BYD East London, for the use of the car. Tinted windows, not heavily tinted, but enough to give you that privacy. And much like we saw on the Dolphin Surf, again you've got this crisscross detailing here at the back of the vehicle. The side profile of the BYD from the passenger side is pretty big, certainly a lot bigger than the 3.3 meter Dolphin Surf that we drove last time. Come around to the back of the car, you've got those signature BYD Sea Lion tail lights, which then of course run across the entire back space of the car. Again, that BYD badge on the back there. You've got the reverse camera over there. And cameras on the side as well, which mean that you get that overhead 360 view, which I'll show you in a second. Come around to the passenger side, you'll notice we have two power points. One obviously for the fuel tank, the other one for charging the battery. And it is a DC charge, which means you can plug it in at home and let it charge. And it doesn't take too long to go from about 20% to about 80% in about 40 minutes. Your chromed roof racks are in place, and the panoramic sunroof, which is voice operated if you like. Hey BYD, can you open the sunroof for me, please?
All right.
I mean, that is pretty cool. So the Sea Lion 5 is one of South Africa's most affordable plug-in hybrid SUVs, with prices starting at around $499,900 for the comfort model and $569,900 for the dynamic variant. This introduces a lot of buyers into electric driving without the range anxiety of a full EV. All right, let's start with your boot space, and I think you'll be quite impressed. So this is the key for the BYD. It's a double press of that button will automatically open your trunk space. With the rear seat up, you have around 463 liters, enough for everyday items like groceries, luggage, or a stroller, or golf clubs in this case. With the rear seats folded down, it expands to about 1,410 liters for bigger loads like camping gear or furniture and the like. And the seats fold down in a 60-40 split, so you could fold down just the one section or the other depending on how much space you need, or the entire back seat, increasing that literage. And of course, a nice to have but not a have to have is the ability to push the button either on the remote or the boot itself, and down she goes. Making our way to the back of the car, being a larger SUV, you would expect that it would have a lot more legroom, and that it certainly does. One of the standout features that I really like about BYD is the plushness and the comfort of the seats that are placed inside these vehicles. As we were talking earlier on, a lot of people were like, oh, Chinese cars, cheap materials and the like, but not the case here. I mean, just have a look at how plush and soft that is there. Rear seat design, really comfy. It's very much like a lounge couch kind of feel to it, with a little bit of an inlay behind the seats. This seat is in driver's position. I'll hop in a second. You've got your sleeve over there. You've got your ISOFIX baby seat settings or fittings there already. And of course in the middle, I'm just gonna have to take that seat belt out there. You've got the fold down armrest with the additional cup holders. Window winder and a chromed handle there. A bit of a door bin there, enough for a bottle of water. But again, plush, nice feeling. And this is very stylish, just changing. Look at the different tones that they've used here. The plastics don't feel cheap. You've got that chrome strip there, bit of a speaker inlay there. You've got this different pattern design there. Nice soft doors, and then you've got this plush leatherish kind of finish on the actual handle, which matches the seats. Rear vents, and they are dual controls, so you basically got a vent for each side of the passengers there, and which we didn't have in the Dolphin Surf, we do have on this vehicle which is that charging port down there, which is quite nice because it's got normal USB and USB-C, because a lot of charging cables nowadays are there. It's a little bit of storage space down there. I'm not sure what you put down there, but there you have it. The panoramic sunroof runs right from the front of the car all the way to the back, giving you an airy feel, and of course headroom with the sunroof open, and very nice. You've got the touch light for the passengers at the back. So a family-sized SUV priced under 500,000 Rand for the entry-level version of the car. This is going to turn some heads and hopefully get some attention, which I think it already is globally, and starting here in South Africa. Let's move to the front passenger side now. On the driver's passenger door, you again, same styling there. I like the stitching. It's kind of runs throughout the vehicle, but that stitching is really, really nice. Again, very basic. Window, chrome inlay there, speaker inlay over there, door bin with plenty of space, and another speaker inlay there for the sound system on the car, which I can confirm is really good. Having a look at this side of the dash, you've got those really nicely designed vents, which include the top vent as well as the front vent, easily controllable for the passenger. You've got this almost perhaps a little too shiny black plastic, which again doesn't feel cheap, but it does tend to leave a little bit of a fingerprint mark there. So hopefully you won't have the kids in the front of the car. This chromed inlay that runs through the sequence of the car, which is really nice. You've got this again, that same patterning we saw over there. You've got it running across the dashboard, all very plush. And your front dash is really nice with an additional speaker inlay over there. At the top, you've got your lane assist and driver assist, collision assist unit, as well as a camera on the front as well, which assists with dash cam. No need for it here; it's built into the vehicle, but it also just assists with the lane assist driving. Nicely done, nicely done. Glove box is again standard, bigger than the Dolphin Surf, but you'd expect that. This is a bigger car. And as far as comfort is concerned, with the door closed, I feel like I'm sitting in business class on an Emirates flight. Very, very comfortable. I like it a lot. This is a great, great position for a passenger. One of the things that stands out for me as well is your center armrest, which of course is also your glove box, an additional storage space. That same plush kind of finish, really comfortable. Armrests on either side of the vehicle, very, very nice. 6 airbags in total. So you've got driver's and passenger side and curtain airbags front and back. So the safety rating on this vehicle is really, really high. Right, let's look under the skin of the BYD Sea Lion 5. It's not a traditional petrol SUV. It uses BYD's DMI plug-in hybrid. This system means that the petrol engine and the electric motor work together for efficiency and performance. Why this matters, the vehicle is basically intelligently deciding between battery and petrol to maximize your range. The petrol side is a 1.5 litre engine paired with a powerful electric motor. Together they produce around 156 kilowatts of power, plenty for everyday driving and smooth highway cruising. If you were to go electric only, you would get around 50 kilometers on battery alone. So for short daily trips, you might barely touch the petrol at all. And like I was saying earlier, the per 100 kilometer usage is about 1.4 liters of petrol per 100 kilometers. With both petrol and electric powering working together, your total range is easily pushes past the 900 to 950 kilometer mark between fill-ups. That basically turns this car into a long-distance family cruiser, not just a city car. All right, the moment you've been waiting for, the driver's seat of the BYD Sea Lion 5. What I like is that styling. You've got the sort of personalized mats that give you the Sea Lion 5 name. And the first thing you notice sitting in the driver's seat is how modern and uncluttered everything feels. It's a clean layout, nothing overwhelming. Everything is where you'd expect it to be, with an elevated electronically controlled driver's seating position, good forward visibility, as well as comfortable supportive seats. Again, that plush, I mean, look how soft that is. plush seating with that headrest molded into the seat as well, and that stitching that we spoke about earlier that runs throughout the entire vehicle, giving it a really luxurious look and feel. It feels intuitive. Within seconds of driving this car, you'll be comfortable and know where the controls are. However, there are a lot of options on this vehicle. Let me see if I can explain most of them to you. Just look at that view. And while we're at it, let's look at this view. This is the driver's side car door. Again, you've got your rear view mirror controls there. Your locks there, although the vehicle does lock automatically. Auto front windows, both driver and passenger. In fact, auto windows for the back as well. And you can lock the back windows in case the kids are putting down the window and you want it closed. But it's auto all round, which I think is a really nice touch. Speaker inlay there, another one down at the bottom. You've got that beautiful stylish design put in there with that chrome detailing running through there and onto the actual door handle. The door bins give you plenty of space. Your petrol and electric ports open with a quick touch of a button down there. I've told you already that this vehicle is probably one of the cheapest hybrids in the country, with the base model coming in under 500,000 Rand. But let's face it, if you are going to spend near to or just over R500,000, you want a luxury feel to your car, and you want to feel like you're driving a premium vehicle. Sitting in the driver's seat of this car really gives you that feel. Here's why. Steering wheel feels solid, well finished, and all the main controls are right at your fingertips. On this side, you've got your adaptive cruise control, your different driving modes, as well as your 360 cam over there, telephone answering system, your Hey Siri, or Hey, in this case, Hey BYD, which I'll demo for you in a second over there. Your volume control, again, is on the scroller, and your back and forward modes are there, as well as your driving modes and the like, and your return to home buttons there, which will change that screen over there. Fully digital display. Let's turn it on and see how it fires up. On both monitors you get that beautiful BYD logo, which on this side then will bring up your dash display here with all of your essential driving information. Getting into the driving information, on this side is kilowatts and revs, which work together. It's got those three areas there: charge, eco, and then power. Also, it'll tell you how many kilowatts you're using, and your speedometer is on this side over here with your lane assistant there, and it's telling me I'm getting a phone call. Really bad time. Not now, please. Call me later. But I like the way that comes up on the dash. On your display, both on the CarPlay side as well as on the dash as well. That's probably spam, so it's ended. Thank you, iPhone, for doing that. This will show you how many occupants are in the car, and if they do not have their seatbelt on, it will warn you. Your time of day over there, 9:39. It's 27 degrees. That's insane. I'm in normal driving mode, but if I want to change that driving mode, down on this console over here, I just flick a switch, and I can go from eco, normal, and sport. When you go into sport, though, it gives you a little red mist there just to tell you you're about to enter something really fast. I must be honest, in normal mode, which is where I've run the vehicle most of the time, it is more than enough. On the display, you've got your tire pressure and your tire temperature all the way around the vehicle as well. Your battery percentage charge over there, 23%. I probably need to give that a charge quite soon. And my petrol range on the other side there with 286 kilometers of range. Believe it or not, when those two combine, that's over 350 kilometers of driving left. So even though it's low on both, I'm still fine. I do not need to stress. That steering wheel, again, much like the Dolphin Surf, you've got that little sporty cutout at the bottom, and it really feels quite plush as well. Speed limit's over there, by the way. I forgot to show you that. So wherever you're driving, it'll bring up what the current speed limit is there. Your vents on the car, these are great. On the side, as I said, you've got the top vents as well as the vents running across the front of the dash for the front window demisting. One thing about BYD that gets me, though, is they've placed these center vents, and I think maybe it's because this is, on some variants, this turns quite low. So if this is facing the wrong direction, you get a very cold knee. Wireless charging located conveniently here, and I must be honest, I popped the phone down and the wireless charging happened almost instantly. It'll work both Android or iPhone. Center console is really cool. Another volume scroller over here, not quite like the Dolphin Surf, closer to the passenger, so you don't have to have the volume wars. This one's just conveniently located, so you can use your left hand if you want. Automatic aircon on and off, front demister there, driving mode there, and again, if it's snowing, which it doesn't really in South Africa, you could use that. Your parking brake there or there. I've never really had to use that though, because it's an electric vehicle with a hybrid. You just press park there and the car is sorted out. If you are going to change gears, you need to press the unlock button, fully forward for reverse, middle for neutral, unlock, and fully back to go into drive. Your park hill assist, which is really cool, you can turn it on and off there. 360 camera located over there, as well as sensors around the vehicle. Or you could have what they call auto drive assist. What this will do is, if at any point you need that brake to hold you, you don't even need to think about it. It'll just pop it on for you there, and that will change from either EV or hybrid EV. Two cup holders here with the little inserts, which make sure that even smaller cans don't rattle around and mess up. And as we've shown you already, you've got that center console here with the plush armrest for the driver and the passenger. Okay guys, one of the things that we discussed on the Dolphin Surf was the BYD app. If you're going to drive this car, if you're going to own this car, you have to download that app. From the app, you can do a whole bunch of things. You can check the location of your vehicle at all times, almost like a, what would you call it, an air tag. It'll tell you where your car is. You can even unlock the car from the app. You can turn on the air conditioning to heat or cool, depending on the conditions. So before you get into the car, you think it's a hot day, I'd like the car to be cool. You can turn that on before you get in the car for a few minutes, but by the time you get to the vehicle, it'll be cool, or vice versa. If it's in winter, it'll be warm. All right. Let's talk about the infotainment system, 13 inches with plenty on it. So one of the mistakes that I always made when reviewing vehicles is going too much into detail of what this offers. It's 13 inches and there's a lot here, but I'll just do the basics with you. Again, you've got the display showing the tire pressure around the vehicle. You can edit that display there. Your telephone there will tell you it's not connected at the moment. And this is like your audio display here. I use an iPhone, so Apple CarPlay is ready to go, and you can change the screensaver that's on the screen at all times. It'll tell me what my Wi-Fi signal's like. It'll also give me some of my location details there and alarms there. On the bottom here, you've got the apps that you can select. The BYD Assistant is one that I suggest you get to know. Vehicle image, you can change what the vehicle looks like. Your phone controls, you can even buy things on the BYD store on here as well. CarPlay, Android Auto, Spotify built in, utility tools. You can change your vehicle settings on this here. Daytime running lights, I've turned those on, but you can do lights, locks, sound and display, energy, vehicle service, ADAS and system on there as well. So that's quite cool. If we go here, this will give us a split screen, which I think is quite cool. So the passenger has their screen and you have yours, which I think is absolutely amazing. That's pretty cool. Your air conditioning settings here, so I can change my temperature over there. I can also make sure that it circulates within the vehicle. Click on that over there, and it again will give me, this is coming out the front, but if I wanted to run the two together, I just press the two. To turn it off, you just press there, and I can also set it to the feet or so dual climate control, so passenger side and driver's side will be different. Let's put it on low for the passenger side as well, and you can sync it for the entire vehicle to make sure that everything is the same. You can have maximum, which if we press max there, now it's going to boost that aircon up to max. We can take it off back down there. And a whole lot of seating there. Now, one of the cool things about this vehicle is you can cool the seats. And let's face it, on a hot day like this, I want to cool the driver's seat down a little bit there. So I'm going to do that. I can select my seat and I can heat it up or cool it down, which I think is a really, really nice addition. Let's just turn this down a little bit because it sounds like we're outside in a blizzard. So that is your air conditioning side there. Standard Apple CarPlay, but if you have a look at the size of, because it's a 13-inch screen, you've got loads of landscapes. So I'll have my my sort of media controls there. and my calendar comes up on that side over there reminding me that I have a radio show today, so just be careful, don't forget that. And again, we can go back to the screen here, which brings up your navigation screen, and much like any Apple CarPlay, you've got all of the apps that are available here with that BYD assistant added in. Not much to go on there. Zoom, I can even do a Zoom call from the car, Teams meetings there, and Waze, which is a very cool little traffic app that you can use. I don't really want to go too much more into detail. There's a lot of settings that you can change on this vehicle, changing the style of the driving, the sort of firmness or looseness of the steering wheel, depending on how you prefer it. It just really is multifunction. And once you get into the different things that you can customize on this vehicle, it's a bit like a rabbit hole. Okay, let's wrap up. The BYD Sea Lion 5 is a very different vehicle to the BYD Dolphin Surf, which we drove last time. It sits in a different segment of the market. And it's a segment that I find myself living in, having a family and needing a vehicle that can accommodate that family, but also needing to watch the pennies and make sure I don't spend a fortune. A hybrid introduces me to the electric vehicle revolution, should we say, but it also gives me a bit of comfort knowing that I still have that petrol motor as a backup. When it comes to power on the vehicle, the acceleration on this car is ridiculously fast, even in normal mode. I would imagine in eco mode, maybe slightly less, and in sports mode, it's probably wild. I like the car. I think there is a lot to be said with BYD and how they've entered this market. They've done well. The car feels premium, it drives premium, and it's the kind of car that you look forward to driving, which I think every car should be that. I know cars are practical, right? Get you from point A to point B, but if you don't like driving it, then there's no joy in the experience. What I found driving both the Dolphin Surf and now the Sea Lion 5 is there's a lot of joy driving these vehicles, and you look forward to going. You know, when your wife says, by the way, can you go get bread and milk? And you're like, sure, no problem. Any excuse to drive the car. Massive shout out to Kelston BYD East London, to Nkanyiso, Angie, and the whole team. Thank you so much for letting me drive this vehicle. I really am impressed. It's a fun car to drive. If you want to get hold of the guys at BYD, certainly whatever area you're in, but if you are in the Eastern Cape or in East London, please chat to Nkanyiso or Angie at Kelston BYD in East London. Thanks so much. Next up, the Sea Lion 6, hopefully, and eventually we'll get to the double cab, which is the BYD Shark. See you at the next one. Have a great day.